January the 2nd, 2025. Guys, you're looking at satellite images over the U.S. Down around New Orleans, you're about to get some rain. They're getting ready to start that Sugar Bowl off in about 3 o'clock, I think, p.m. Central Time. Hearts go out to the 15 people that lost their lives, and just for every one of those, they had families, guys. And you got 30 people or more hurt. I don't think anybody but the driver in Vegas was killed. I may be wrong. Someone correct me on that. And if I am wrong, I apologize. Now, we got some pretty heavy weather coming in the next week or so. But let me say this before we get into that. All of you have been watching the news mostly. And you've seen that there's a connection. Both the guy in Vegas and the guy in New Orleans went to the same Army base. Same tactical type information, I think, was psychological operations, PSYOPs there. Both served under the same general. So I don't know if there's any connections past that or not. I'm sure they had some type of Trump-Elon thing going on in Vegas, because you get an Elon vehicle, blow up a Trump hotel. You know how that goes. Now, the strange thing to me in New Orleans, and I've been there many, many times, guys. I've worked down there, played music down there, and played music on Bourbon Street, guys. But they've got these hydraulic barriers that come up on the events when they don't want cars to come through those streets because something like this might happen. And they just rise up or they flip up, I can't remember. But you can't get through them. But for some reason, they were down. Imagine that. Now, it's being hyped on TV a lot. And that concerns me because when you see the mainstream media getting involved, they're being told what to say. They're just little monkeys that do what they're told. So the monkey talk is all over the place. What are they getting ready to do, guys? To create a terror event? Remember all the lockdowns that occurred, not during the J6, but 911? And they came up with Homeland Security and all of that. Will they try to do something like that before the inauguration? I don't know. They're trying bird flu, everything else. But the bad thing about it with the flu things is that a lot of people have found out what a BS story all that was, and a lot of people are going to go to jail for it. Probably falsely will be included in it, right in there with a few more. But right now, I'd be very cautious. I wouldn't set foot in the Super Bowl for anything in the world. Period. I don't like crowds anymore anyway for the last 20 years. But I don't go to any events like that because you never know who's around you, and this world is going crazy. Understand that before you take or partake in the big crowded situation. But let's get to the weather for a moment. Again, I'm very cautious of what we're being told and not told on these events. There's been other shootings around the nation. You've probably seen them on the news. Anyway, right now you got moisture coming out of Texas into Louisiana that will drift towards our way in central Mississippi. This moisture is going to be getting pushed down, guys, and you're going to have moisture coming off the Pacific Ocean. What's going to happen in a few days is this area through here, through Kentucky and back into Arkansas, guys, and all the way to the East Coast. You're going to have 3 or 4 days of freezing rain, ice, sleet, snow. Your power is going to be out for a long time. And there's already people up there, guys. We know all the victims from Hurricane Helene. January 20th can't get here soon enough, so a lot of changes will happen, I believe, at that point. Maybe the hands are tied because they're still giving the volunteers some trouble, from what I understand. But let's look at a map, and I want to show you something. And if this wasn't severe, I wouldn't come in here and talk about it. But I think we're setting ourselves up here as far as weather goes for a very severe time. Now, this is an overall look. This starts Saturday right here. See, this is the lowest forming over the New Mexico and Texas border. And by this time, this area is starting to get very moist. We're going to get rain here in Mississippi, New Orleans, Atlanta areas, except the very northern tip. And all of this, guys, is going to be ice. This is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So you're going to have 3 days in there of of this ice coming down and mixed rain and freezing rain and everything, and then you're going to have the time for that to thaw out for them to get power back on. So what you got to do, guys, right now, if you don't have one, if you got a fireplace or wood burner, you make sure you have some dry firewood that's been aged a little bit. You don't want that fresh green stuff. And if you don't, get one of those Mr. Heaters or Mr. Buddies from Home Depot. We don't sell them, but they've saved a lot of lives over the last few years. I've gotten comments from people that listened during these hard winter events and got them, and it saved them and friends' lives. Okay? They're not that expensive. They run on the little green propane bottles, you can hold in your hand, and I think there's an adapter that you can even hook the 5-gallon bottles up, things like that. Anyway, this is going to get rough. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's start here in the north. By the way, we're looking at these maps, and they are at AccuWeather.com. But you've got a storm max total of snow at 30 inches. And this again Saturday through Monday here in Sioux City, Omaha, Wichita, Kansas City. The blue area, you're looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow. You're not going to really be able to travel in that, depending on the temperatures involved. Then you could have a lot of power outages. You get that much snow on your trees, light lines, it's going to go down. It's going to be much worse than this as far as ice further south. This stretches out across the nation. Here's Indianapolis, St. Louis, Peoria, again, Sioux City here, Wichita. And this comes right down here. This is Tennessee, and this is going to be a mixture by the time it gets into Kentucky here. Now, they're saying just to the south of all of the snow, parts of Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana are forecast to experience ice mixing with snow during the storm, which can limit the amount of total snow accumulation. A difficult battle between warm and cold air will determine exactly how much snow versus ice falls in some areas like Kansas City and St. Louis in Missouri. A change from just 20 to 30 miles further south with the track of the storm could result in much more snow and less ice. A major freezing rain is expected to unfold this event, making for dangerous ice accretions across the northern Ozarks, middle Mississippi Valley, and the Ohio Valley this weekend. Communities from Springfield, Missouri to Lexington, Kentucky could be in for a substantial amount of ice that brings dangerous travel conditions. Additionally, this much ice can weigh down tree limbs like we were talking about, increasing the chance for tree damage and resulting in power outages. Guys, you don't have much time to get to some of the things I'm talking about. Maybe one more day if they haven't already had a run on those particular type heaters or whatever you need, firewood. It said the power outages, extensive tree damage, and lengthy travel days will be concerned in the worst hit areas. Now, let's look at that map again. We're looking at Tennessee. It's just catching the top, dipping down right here into Asheville, and some are showing the very northern tip of Georgia there. But this is Saturday, low setting up, same area. Sunday here, Monday over here on the East Coast, Asheville, Roanoke, Charleston, St. Louis, Kansas City, Wichita. This is Kentucky, guys. This is a lot of people in this area. It says hazardous travel. Trees and power lines will be weighed down. You'll have power outages. Look at this in the color coding. Localized. This is ice storm. Significant in the lighter pink, but in the darker pink. And this covers much of the state of Kentucky. See this? Back into Kansas City, over into Virginia, Charleston, down into Asheville. Again, this dip very close to Georgia. Keep an eye on it, North Georgia. Severe in the dark pink. Look at that. This is Saturday p.m. through Sunday. Guys, there's a lot of people probably traveling in this area, especially. You got a lot of football games going on. Again, they postponed the Sugar Bowl till tonight, even though one of the big administrators wanted that shut down for a few more days. The mayor came in there and gave the shark is no threat to you on the beach, like in the movie Jaws, because it's holiday weekend. They gave a really good speech on that, so keep your eyes on that too. But this, guys, is going to be serious. This can be as dangerous as anything in the world. If you're freezing to death, or you run off a steep embankment, or stuck out in some snow and ice. So just chill out. Stay home. If you don't have to do it, if the truck drivers are going to have trouble, guys, and they're professionals. but it's not worth it. When you're getting this ice, tell your boss if you can't take off, you'll see him next time around. It's not worth your life. You got a family in most cases that depend on you. So don't do anything stupid, and be very careful, guys. I say that in a kind way. I want you to think about this. We've been through ice storms, guys. You remember here in Mississippi, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago, that ice storm that come out of Texas? We had 2 or 3 inches on our back deck. It would not go away for a week. I was busting it off with a pitchfork so you could walk in the wood without slipping down. It was tough, no power. We had our wood burner heater and our solar panels. That was quite a blessing. But get ready. We've got a lot of updates coming up, guys. I've had to deal with yesterday we got the back fences up thanks to Tina's dad came over and helped. And we got that up. Now we can let the pups go into the back larger section of our yard because we had 3 or 4 trees down along that back fence. So that's back up and working, and just trying to relax today. But you know how it is when you got a small farm. There's always something. But they're saying 250 million people in 40 states are going to be affected with either rain, snow, and sleet or this ice storm right here. That's a lot of folks. And you're going to see a lot of power outages. And as long as we can get up, guys, I'm going to be reporting on it big time because, again, this is as dangerous as a hurricane if it's going to cost you your life, right? That's right. So heads up. Be safe.